On this episode of Dirt Road Traveler, we're in
Charlottetown,
Prince Edward Island. Alrighty, so let's take a tour of the Prince Edward Island Brewing Company.
Hi, I'm Enzo.
Hi, I'm Kennedy.
And welcome to
the PEI Brewing Company.
Very cool watching the canning process. Alrighty, so Cindy is opening the freshest beer she's ever opened. This beer, Island Red Ale, literally just came off that belt. How brilliant is that? Red drinking red. Awesome. And we're heading back to the hotel from PEI Brewing, and we see our first Island Walk sign. Now, we're not starting our Island Walk for a couple days yet, but these are the signs that we're going to be seeing. And Cindy's going to point to you right now, number 4, which is Summerside PEI. That's where we're going to start. And at the end of our first day, we're going to end in Kensington. Day 2 will be at 16 in Cavendish. Then we carry along to 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and then down to 24, over to 25, and then we're going to be quitters. At 25, we're going to end our trip, head back to Charlottetown, fly home. That is the Island Walk. And a lot of the area that we're going to be walking will be along the Trans-Canada Trail. We're really excited to share that in our next series, but we've got a lot more Charlottetown to share with you. So let's go back to dealing with Charlottetown. And the historic district here in Charlottetown has so many beautiful buildings. I could do an entire video of just the beautiful buildings. But you have to trust me in knowing that there is no limit to the colors. We'll show you some more before we're done here, but the historic value of these buildings is incredible. Even saying all that about the beautiful colors, how about this mural? Couldn't not share it with you. That would be unfair. And this is St. Dunstan's Basilica. Let's have a look from outside. It is quite impressive. And let's go back to 1864 and John Hamilton Gray having a conversation about Canada's Confederation. Cindy is in there listening in. They haven't even realized that she's there. Untruthful. And those were the bells of the basilica that we were just in. Well, you know how much we love markets, so we decided we'd visit the food hall and market. I have no idea what's going to be inside, but we're going to find out. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So it's a bunch of little restaurants share nice dining tables, very similar to what we saw when we were in Nashville, but on a smaller scale. So across Charlottetown, there are 9 of these little guys. This is one of the 9. Kind of cute. So good morning on day 2 of our time here in Charlottetown. Just wanted to show you this green stripe. There's actually in the old area, there's green, terracotta, and yellow, I believe was the 3rd color. And the sidewalks are clearly marked to allow you to follow a very specific route. So Cindy and I are doing a route that's approximately 6 kilometers. all of the local tourist maps have these laid out on them. It's just really neat, especially if you're navigationally challenged when you're out for walks. Just have a little bit of a break today to do this walk this morning, and this afternoon we're going to see Anne and Gilbert in the theater before sort of winding it down for our time here in Charlottetown and getting ready to start our island walk tomorrow. Hey Cindy, what is that over there?
It's a lighthouse, Tim.
What? Yeah, okay. We knew it was here. That's why we walked over. It's our first lighthouse of this trip. I'm sure there's going to be many more as we walk along the island walk. On many of our trips, we're really impressed with the great big forts that were built in the 16, 17, 1800s. Here is the Prince Edward Battery. It's not a big fortified wall. What it is actually a rough so that ships coming in through that area in front of us don't really see it as a defensive position. And there are the 4 cannon points to protect the harbor. It's a really cool spot to stop by. There's no admission fee, and there's even barely a gate. Sadly, it's closed right now, but this is Beaconsfield House. And when it was built in the 1800s, was the most prestigious home built on the island. And they say it was built of all the finest materials of the time. And between the armories and the ocean is this lovely monument to the Irish settlers who came to Prince Edward Island. It's windy here today, but still just so beautiful here. So we're visiting the armories here. This is the Prince Edward Island Regiment Museum. Interesting fact about today is Prince Edward, the brother of King Charles, is actually here in Charlottetown to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the regiment for which he is the honorary colonel. The museum's small, but there's some great history here, and the battle honors around the parade square explain how important this regiment has been to Canada's missions over the years. And then we saw this hedge with windows. And check out these jellyfish. No idea whether they're like poisonous or what, but there is a whole whack of these bad people all through this area here in the harbor. How cool is that, eh? Well, we are pretty certain that because of copyright rules, we can't videotape while we're here, so we're sitting down to Anne and Gilbert, the musical, the story of Anne of Green Gables, and we're very excited to be here. That's all I can share for now. Well, we just finished watching Anne and Gilbert, and it was really a cute, feel-good 2.5-hour theater production. Anyways, thanks for watching this episode of Dirt Road Traveler. Our next videos are while we're walking across the island walk. Thanks for now.